Police, law enforcement across the country tonight are bracing for what would be a third night of protests following the election of Donald Trump as president. Last night, violence erupted in Portland and in a number of other cities as well, we should point out. But in Portland, with protesters damaging cars at a dealership, they went on a rampage through the city, shattering business windows. Police declared the demonstration a riot, citing extensive criminal and dangerous behavior. Police officers in riot gear were forced to use rubber bullets and flashbang grenades trying to clear those crowds. Police arrested 26 people. Trump reacted, tweeting this, quote, "Just had a very open and successful presidential election. Now, professional protesters incited by the media are protesting. Very unfair." And this morning, Trump, seeming more optimistic, said this, "Love the fact that the small groups of protesters last night have passion for our great country. We will all come together and be proud." My next guest says these temper tantrums from radical anarchists, as he calls them, must be quelled. And joining me tonight, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke, whose name has been floated as possible Secretary of Homeland Security in a Trump administration. Sheriff, it is great to see you. Let's deal first with these riots. I know that you have very little patience with police departments that do not maintain law and order. What is your reaction to what you've seen on display over the last couple of nights?
Well, first of all, Lou, it's a great day in America, even 2-3 days after the election of Donald Trump to be the next commander-in-chief. Donald Trump ran on a theme of law and order, and what we're seeing is pure lawlessness by anarchists. These are not protests. These people do not believe in the United States Constitution, so they don't even believe in the First Amendment. They don't believe in the rule of law. They are trying to topple, intimidate, and overthrow this lawfully constituted government.
Let me interrupt you just for a second, Sheriff, to explain to our audience that you're looking at right now at protests, demonstrations, call them what you will. The sheriff is exactly right. They are paid professional protesters and provocateurs driving this, but the effect is the same as if it were organic and authentic protest. They are, obviously obstructing traffic and being driven there by some of the nonprofits, including MoveOn.org, Black Lives Matter, and others, to create dissension and disruption. And I'm sorry, Sheriff, go ahead.
But, yeah, you're right. This has George Soros written all over it. But the passive approach to dealing with these things, which many agencies have gone to, does not work. It just simply does not work. It never has. One thing that you have to do is draw a very bright line with these anarchists and let them know if this line is crossed, and that's when the looting and the firebombing and that sort of thing starts to occur. All bets are off and you use all reasonable force. I have authorized my officers in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we had a demonstration last night, to use all reasonable force. I've given the okay for them to use the rubber bullets, the bean bags, the flashbangs, including and up to tear gas to disperse any unruly behavior. And
why is it that there cannot be liability, responsibility placed on the nonprofits who are behind this? And I'm talking about MoveOn.org, Black Lives Matter. Much of the money of George Soros, he has plenty of money, but he should be financially responsible for the property damage, the personal injury that is created by his support and frankly, initiatives created by his nonprofits to do this, those that he supports so completely.
Well, there are obviously some federal law violations here and some state law violations inciting riots, and I'm sure there are some other federal statutes that they could get creative with, that if they can pinpoint this back to these goon-driven organizations like MoveOn.org and Black Lives Matter, so on and so forth, that they should be held criminally liable and civilly liable as well. The problem, though, is that we have an Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, who has no will to hold these individuals responsible, and that's probably on order from the White House. Secretly, I think Mrs. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Bernie Sanders are kind of enjoying what they're seeing right now, because these are the tactics that they use. These are their people.
Well, shame on
them.
them.
Their supporters.
And the great news is it's a 68-day problem in terms of leadership. Your reaction to your name being put forward is one of those. The president-elect is interested in putting in Homeland Security.
Well, obviously, I'd be honored to serve in the Donald Trump administration. When the president asks you to serve, you step up and you fulfill that duty. I think it's a little early yet. I realize that my name's being floated around for any number of positions, but I think it's pure speculation at this point. Once the president gets his legs underneath him, he's got his transition team in place. They'll sit down and have discussions, and I'm sure my name will be thrown around for any number of positions. But like I said, when the president steps up and asks you to serve,
Sheriff,
you step up and you serve.
And you'll be in good company.